Hey YouTube, welcome to your girl, The Raquel's channel. So right now I'm just chilling at the house. Ain't doing a whole lot. I just wanted to come home and just relax, just pick the baby up from school. And making me some little stew. Some beef stew to be exact. And I just want to come to y'all and just help y'all to bring together whatever you have in your kitchen, right? Show y'all what it's like to cook. Whatever you have in your kitchen, you can put it together. I don't care what it is. You have something in your deep freeze, in your regular freeze, in your refrigerator. You got some ingredients, you got some canned foods. We can come together and make almost anything. So let me just say this, y'all. I've already started with cooking my beef stew, right? This has actually been cooking since about 9 o'clock today. 9 a.m. that is. Yes. And so what I did is, and I'm gonna let this cook about to about 3:30, 4:15, and that's Eastern Standard Time. And the reason why I'm letting that cook so long is because we got to make sure this beef is good and tender. So when you bite into it, you want to make sure that your beef is tender. It's so tender that it's almost melting in your mouth. All right. So I'll show y'all, and I apologize that I didn't already, I didn't start from the beginning. I'm just now like, oh, let me make a video and post it for the people out there in the street so they can see what they want to do when they at the house, especially on a day like this. So right now I'm in Georgia and the temperature is about no more than 55 degrees and it's kind of cool outside and I got a little congestion going on. So any day like this, a nice soup is definitely going to help that out. So yeah, so beef stew is definitely on the menu. So what I've done so far, just to kind of give you guys an idea of making that broth, and I'm going to bring this a little bit closer so y'all can see on the inside what that looked like. Y'all got a good view of that? All right, so I'm going to tell y'all exactly what I did, and you can do it too, all right? You guys can be the chefs that your hearts have always desired to be, right in the comfort of your own home, okay? And you can do this with chicken, you can do it with beef, whatever you desire. You can do it with ground turkey, ground chicken, whatever it is, right? So, what I started off with, you definitely want to start off with your broth, right? And your broth, and y'all excuse me, because I'm about to make me some coffee. I've been drinking coffee all day, and I don't drink coffee every day, but when I want some coffee and I get on my coffee, y'all, I want my coffee. I sip coffee. I may not finish a whole cup of coffee, but I be sipping my coffee, right? So, let me go ahead and prep my coffee. So right now I got my little queen cup, and y'all probably like, why you got a straw in your cup? So I had my gums. I had a deep cleaning done on Monday, right? So that deep cleaning, and so my teeth don't stain in the process and while they're healing. I looked it up, and it said the best way to like drink things that typically stain your teeth, use a straw. Okay, so not recommended after you had a deep cleaning to drink alcohol through the healing process. But if you decide that for whatever reason you just have to have some alcohol for that particular day because your day is not going the way that you would ever hope for, and you just need something to take the edge off, use a straw. That way it bypasses your teeth and goes right to where you need it to be. Okay, so that's why I'm using a straw. Just wanted to FYI y'all. I probably like, this girl drinking coffee out of a straw. Yes, your girl is drinking coffee out of a straw. So let me make sure my coffee is right. Put my creamer in there, and I'm using what is this, sweet cream, and the sweet cream came from Aldi's, and it's pretty good. It's not my go-to, but it's good. It's a good blend for this particular coffee that I'm using, which is it is actually maple pecan, and that's a Walmart brand. It's so good. So like I use other creamers, but you don't want a certain creamer like a mocha peppermint or a caramel mocha or something like that to clash if you have some type of flavor of coffee. So that's why I'm using this sweet cream, which actually brings together the maple pecan and the flavoring of that sweet cream together. So let me make sure it's to my liking. And it is. And that's a good thing about like the creamers that already have the sugars in them. You don't have to add no sugar. For me, I really don't like using a lot of sugar. So the creamers that I buy already have sugar in it, and you just pour as much as you want. I know people like their coffee either straight up dark, or they either like their coffee sweet and light. Whatever your forte is, my forte, yeah, I did say forte, is coffee and creamer with sugar already mixed in it, and I just pour as much as I need to, and it's to my liking. Okay. So back to the beef stew. So what I was saying to you guys earlier, like if you want to make your chicken noodle soup, this goes for chicken, any type of soup. So all you simply need to do is pour you some water in the pot, depending on what size pot y'all are using. Y'all, I'm using. So let me just tell y'all right now, I'm an eye measure cook. Now, take my word for it, okay? I know how to cook. And anybody that has met me and that knows me personally knows that I know how to cook. And I know y'all like, yeah, everybody say they know how to cook. But I know y'all, everybody ain't tasting my cooking out there in YouTube. But I know how to cook. So just trust me, okay? Add your own spin to it. If you guys have any questions about, hey, Raquel, like I'm using this particular quart of a pot, or like this is what I'm using, comment down below, and also make sure y'all subscribe to your girl's channel, The Raquel. Okay, so you're gonna pour in a couple cups of water to your eye measurements. And yes, we talk about eye measurements when it comes to cooking, y'all. This is not your traditional cooking show. Do you hear what your girl is saying? All right, so I got my water. So start with your water, stick of butter, whatever your seasonings is that you like, you want to add that to your pot. So I'm going to give you guys an idea of what I've already added to my my broth. I added, like I said, 1 stick of butter. I've added some garlic salt. I also added, I like spicy, so I know I added some cayenne pepper. I added a little bit of brown sugar, just to give like that sweet and spice flavor to it. I also used some soy sauce, low on the sodium. I used some fresh garlic, minced garlic. I also used some, what else did I use in here? I diced up some red onions. That's like one of my go-tos for practically anything that I cook. Like minced garlic, red onions, and green peppers. That's like my base of a lot of things that I cook. And if you begin to cook with it, you'll understand why, because it creates that natural flavor. I mean, you can still add your own seasonings to it, but that's going to give it the base foundation of the flavor that your heart desires when it comes to cooking. I guarantee. Okay, so I used some garlic pepper. I had some garlic pepper in here, and I used some cumin. I got to get some more cumin because I'm almost done, and I've had this for some time. And it doesn't take a whole lot of cumin. Cumin brings all the flavor together, and if I'm saying it wrong, y'all, don't matter. Okay, you see what I'm using. Some cumin, some cumin. Everybody say it differently, but you know what I'm talking about, okay? So this brings all the flavor in together, so you don't need a whole lot of it. If you use so much of this, it's not like it's an overbearing taste, so you don't want to use a whole lot of cumin. Okay, I know I used a little bit of that, and I also use, this is one of my favorites, so I do my best not to use a lot of salt-based seasonings, simply because I'm working on getting off my blood pressure meds. Right, so I'm on a low dose blood pressure meds, and I developed high blood pressure after I had my daughter. And that was about 2 years ago. I've never had any issues with blood pressure. I'm a very active individual, but sometimes it just happens that way. But I'm working on getting off them pills, because your girl don't want to be on, and will not be on them pills much longer. Okay, and I've done very well thus far. I've lost a lot of weight. Y'all can comment down below if you're interested to find out how I did that. But yeah, that's my goal, and I will definitely. You heard it here first, to be off of them dang on pills. But anyway, let's get to it. So I use, this is a seasoning Flavor Mate. So this is a seasoning, it's a classic salt-free blend with a full body taste to add flavor to any food. So when you're using seasonings that don't have a lot of salt in it, use generous portions because it's really going to magnify that flavor, okay? So you definitely want to be very generous when it comes to, because you're creating that base, right? So don't be afraid to use a generous portion of flavoring that does not have salt content in it, because that's, at the end of the day, you don't want things that's going to be overly salty, because you can't really enjoy. Yes, you don't want it to be under salty, but you really essentially want to be able to taste the flavor. You want to taste all the different flavors that, and you want, it's like, it should be like a happy combinational marriage of all these different seasons. All right. So yeah, and I know I use some garlic powder. So really, again, I know I use some onion powder as well, even though I use fresh onion too. But at the end of the day, you want it to be what it is that you like. It doesn't have to be what I'm adding to mine. You want to create. I'm an innovator cooker, okay? And what that simply means is, and this is my personal definition, you won't find this in no Webster dictionary, okay? An innovator cooker, hence I'm speaking about me, is I cook best when I'm hungry, right? And when I'm hungry, my mind will create all kind of ideas. I could go in a refrigerator, it might be some leftovers, might be something that hadn't even been cooked yet, and my mind just begins to flow, and I can visualize everything that I want to use to create this particular dish that is truly special, and that truly embodies the vision that I created, and you'll actually taste it in your mouth. I guarantee you. All right, so I got my broth that's been cooking for about 3 hours, and I've already added my beef to it, and I also added some, what did I add? I added some tomatoes and some green peppers. So that's also brewing in there. I have some corn that I'm going to add. Got from Walmart, y'all. Again, this is coming out your own personal cabinet, okay? So what you have something similar to what I'm suggesting to make your beef stew specifically. That's what you want to use, okay? Any type of vegetable, because you definitely want to have those filling portions. I'm about to get ready to cut up some potatoes and throw it in there as well. And once everything is practically done, because everything is going to be contingent based on the tenderness of the actual beef, because you know beef takes a little bit longer to cook. So you definitely want to add things like this in once the beef is practically done, because it's not going to take that long to broil this, right? So I'm going to go ahead and add my potatoes in, because like I said, that's been cooking for about three hours at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and chop up my potatoes. So y'all, this is real life cooking. The girl, The Raquel, is telling you what it is. So you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it too. So I'm here to help you through. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to chop up these potatoes that I've already skinned. And I'm going to cut them up. And all I'm going to do is cut them into like little squares or whatever you choose. You know. And just throw them into the pot. And yes, my favorite Christmas song is playing in the background. Go straight together. That's my song, y'all. I love this song. Love, love, love. It's my favorite Christmas song. That's long. He knows it is. So, just wanted to come to y'all and give y'all some ideas. Like, if you're thinking about what to cook tonight for dinner, and you're not really sure, my suggestion for today is going to be beef stew. Alright? I'm going to turn the camera towards me a little bit, because y'all like, I can't really see you, girl. What you got going on? Y'all work with me. It's going to get better. The quality of this, as my show going on, it's going to get better. So don't worry about it, okay? Alright, y'all. So I'm just dicing up these tomatoes right about now. And we're going to go ahead and throw the rest of them in the pot. And we're going to let this cook for about 30 to 40 minutes, so those potatoes can also soften up as well. And this is just two potatoes. That's actually all I had in the refrigerator anyway. So two, and they're large size. You don't need much more than that because it's not potatoes. But you just want to add that fullness to the actual soup. So the potatoes, they're going to take a little bit longer to cook. They're the second longest thing to cook. So that's why I'm adding them in now. And the reason why I added the tomato and the peppers in there is because I wanted to blend in and bring together the flavoring as well. So that's another great blender. The actual tomatoes and the peppers as well. So almost finished cutting this up, and I'm just going to take it, and I am going to put this into the pots. All right, y'all. I want to see if y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm like, dang, girl. Y'all work with your girl. Work with your girl. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here. Y'all see me. It's okay. It's okay. Work with what you got, not what you don't, right? That's what it's about. All right. We got that going. So I'm just going to go ahead and stir that up. And I'm going to let y'all see what that looked like thus far. Y'all see it? I'm probably too close. There we go. So it's coming together. Y'all see that? Alright. So I'm going to let that cook for about, like I said, about 30-45 minutes to get those potatoes done. And that beef. And I got the stove cooking on low. And so let that cook. I'll check to see how tender the actual beef is in about 45 minutes. And then I'm going to go ahead and toss in my carrots and peas and my corn, and that's what it's gonna be. And I'll show y'all the finished product once your girl is done. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button down below, and remember, it's your girl, the Raquel, coming to you with all the innovation cooking that you want to know. Better see it, better know it for sure. It's me on the TV show. Hey, enjoy your life right where you at.